Alrighty guys, up for sale today is a 1992 Mercury Grand Marquis LS. This car I just recently cleaned. Came out of the estate of an elderly gentleman. This car hadn't been run in about 8 years. It sat outside in the weather, and I'll post some before pictures of the car so you can get a really idea of what this thing looked like before it was all cleaned up. Now, it's being a 21-year-old car, it's not perfect. You can still see some of the dirt got left on there, and there's a couple dings and scratches all around the car. It is old. The paint's a little faded, and see some more scratches here, here, and here. And there's still some discoloration on the plastic body molding. But the only dent in the car is this little guy here. Barely noticeable, about, finger. So, I mean, for the age of the car and the condition that it was in when I found it, it really is remarkable how well it's cleaned up. Inside is pretty decent as well. Still a little dusty. If you want, I can finish cleaning it. I just gave it a very basic wash and kind of vacuum and a little bit of dusting. But I can come back in here and all this will get cleaned up with a nice steam clean. All the little bits and pieces you got laying around. It is a true 6-passenger car. It is very comfortable. Your fold down armrests, and you can see just how plush this velour really is. And it's got a power driver seat with manual recline. It goes up, down, forward, reverse, and there's your tilt controls. Really the only problem with the interior is this control panel here. Everything works. Power mirrors, door locks, windows, all that work. It's just that this the switch panel has come loose from this decorative piece, and then this whole assembly has come loose from the door. There's a couple screws in here that have lost their plastic inserts, and this is all held on with clips that have also broken off. I'm sure at a junkyard it would be pretty easy to fix, and I can fix that if you want. I'm sure it would be very cheap. Back seat, very roomy. I have the seat all the way back, and even then, you see it's quite soft. Even with the seats all the way back, I get in. I still got about 3-4 inches of leg room, 3 inches of headroom. And I mean, I'm only 5'11", I'm not a huge guy, but it is a very spacious car. And the seat is designed for seats backwards, someone who's 6'2", 6'3" would be. So you could easily fit a couple of 6-foot guys in here and be totally fine for a long trip. I have lights back here. They kind of turn towards you and away from you like that, both sides. Those are just your standard like map lights. I said all the windows do work back here and all that, and power locks. Nice thing about being a Grand Marquis is has a 21 cubic foot trunk, rather. Pardon me. All relatively clean. Again, I can go back in and get those stains out if you so desire. It's got a nice cargo net here for storing some of your smaller items, make sure they don't roll around. It does have a full-size spare. It's got a little bit of tread left on it. And, I mean, it's really hard to find a car with a full-size spare anymore, so that's a very nice feature. Alright, we'll go ahead and fire her up. Now, when I got a hold of her, did not run. Was still stuck in the weeds at the original owner's house. Managed to put a new battery in it, and she started up just fine. And just like this, actually. See, starts up just fine, idles nice. The airbag light does come on and flash. Shut that up a little. And as is the anti-lock brake light. I know the ABS does not work. I have gotten this thing into a skid on some loose gravel. I'm going to look into the codes a little later on, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. But the engine does run well. You can see it does really shake the car when you accelerate. It's all that torque. It does have airbag here. No airbag on the passenger side, though it is nicely padded. We have a radio and cassette. Radio plays pretty well.
When you smile, I melt inside. I'm not worthy for a minute of your time. I really wish it was only me and you. I'm jealous of everybody in the room. Please don't look at me with those eyes. Please don't hit.
Power antenna does work. It's this little switch here. Take it down, goes all the way down, and back up. Just like that. Rear defrost is your climate control, your fan speed, AC, vent, all that good stuff. Cold to hot and back again. Your date, your time, and your clock set. It does have automatic lights. They do work very well. I don't know if you can see that. Panel comes on, dims. Alright, and let's go check out the engine. Oh, and it does have cruise control. Very nice feature. It's your parking brake, hood release. Under the hood of this guy, we have a 4.6 liter overhead cam V8. In this application, makes 190 horsepower and about 230 pound-feet of torque. Has 122,000 miles on it. It's nothing for these kind of cars. These Panther body Fords are renowned for their reliability. You've seen them as police cars and taxis and airport shuttle service cars. There's our brand new battery, just bought it today. As you can see, the engine is fairly clean. I mean, granted, it is a 21-year-old car, and if you want, I can clean that up for you. It shouldn't be too much. This light was working earlier, I promise. Again, I'll take a look into that if you're serious about it. So, oh, and I will also clean up these headlights for you. I have some pretty good lens restore. They're a little yellowed. I mean, they still work just fine. The turn signals kind of have it too, but it's always nice to be able to see that car's maximum potential. Other than that, it is in desperate need of new tires. You can see they're quite dry rotted. I didn't even bother cleaning them. They had mold on them and all kinds of nasty stuff. Just really not very safe to drive any kind of distance on it. You can see kind of there's the mold and algae had grown on there before. See the back here. Exhaust pipe sounds pretty decent. But anyway, I mean, for the money and for the age of this car, it is, I believe, a very good buy. It'll get you about 25 miles per gallon on the highway, 18 city. Usually I see people average about 22, 23 in normal mixed driving. Very, very comfortable, very roomy, and just an all-around very reliable car. I have no doubt this thing can do another 200, maybe even 300,000 miles on that engine. It's been known to get done, and this is a very, very good example. Oh, actually, before I forget, with the car, and I just found this today, in the glove box is a book of all the maintenance done to the car over the past couple years. When the previous owner got it in, I believe, 1995. Yeah, bought it for $13,508, and this has all of the service done to it, transmission rebuilds, tires, all the oil changes, filter changes, everything is in this book, and it has been very, very well taken care of. So, that being it, hope you guys enjoy the car, and maybe convince you to buy it.